Hey guys, this is Nikki, outside of Japan, but I have some updates about Japan. The past few days, something weird was happening with my Japan Post bank account. I've been receiving notifications on my email regarding transactions that I didn't initiate, and these were transactions that were obviously from Japan because the currency used were in Japanese yen. And I know some foreigners might get confused with this. I wasn't able to close my Japan Post bank account when I left Japan because I didn't have enough time to close it. And I don't know about you, but if you're a foreigner who lives in Japan and who has acquired a Japanese bank account, you're supposed to close your bank account for it's like an administrative requirement that you have to close it. But I wasn't able to do so. So my Japan Post bank account is still online, and there was still some funds left when I left Japan, so I was still able to use those funds outside of Japan. So recently, actually, I've noticed some transactions that I didn't initiate, and I knew that they were coming from Japan because the currency were in Japanese yen. At first, the transactions were like I've noticed some transactions from Spotify, for instance, worth 100 yen, and then they would be returned to my account immediately. So as when I checked my Japan Post bank account, my statements account online, you could see that there was like a debit and a credit. So whatever was debited was also credited at the same time. So I thought maybe it's not something that I need to be worried of because all of the accounts that were debited were credited anyway. But today I noticed 5 transactions from Uber Trip from Uber Eats, and they were kind of huge. One of the transaction amount was about 5,000 yen, and it was alarming, so I had to call Japan Post Bank. Luckily, they had an English customer service, so I was able to spoke with their with their staff, and for the meantime, they temporarily deactivated my account to prevent any fraudulent use. They assured me that all of the accounts or all of the amounts that has been debited from Uber Eats that wasn't initiated by me would be returned to me within 10 days. And I don't know what the next step are. They mentioned a solution of transferring the existing funds from Japan Post Bank to my bank account overseas. So I don't know if we will be able to do it tomorrow. They promised to call me back tomorrow. So I am waiting for the next steps. But as for people living in Japan, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. I've been maintaining that account for 5 years now. I've never encountered anything like this before. I've never encountered any transaction that I didn't initiate. So it's something I find weird. And the thing that I find very weird is that I cannot even do purchases online here outside of Japan because my bank card is tied to a Japanese phone number which I don't use anymore. And so whenever I do online transactions here, it requires me to pin a code that would be sent to my Japanese phone number, and I don't receive that code. So I was assured that any online transaction will be difficult using that card because it's just impossible. The mobile number is not working anymore, so there's no way for anyone to receive that code. So I myself cannot even initiate any online transaction. So I find it so weird that someone else would be able to use my account online. The transactions that I that I've found on my statements were from Spotify, from Apple, from Amazon, from Uber Eats. So if you notice, all of these are like transactions that are done online, and I can't even use them. Like the debit card that I have now, I am able to use them only physically after, pinning the pin code, after I tap in the pin code in the physical store. But other than that, I'm not able to use them. So I don't know how these hackers are able to hack, or I don't know how they're able to use my account even without knowing the code from the mobile number or the PIN from the debit card itself. So I would suggest, if you also encounter something like this, call your bank immediately. Japan Post Bank was super helpful to me. I don't speak Japanese, and they have an English representative, so they spoke to me well, and they promised to call me back tomorrow to find a resolution to this issue. So for you guys, have you ever encountered something like this? Can you tell me, can you share with me how you were able to resolve it? Were there issues with your Japanese banks that were not resolved ever regarding any fraudulent use of your account? Can you share it with me? So I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope no one is using your bank account for fraudulent use, and be vigilant, everyone. So I think these hackers are just all over the place. We need to be vigilant all the time, and we need to update our banks whenever we do any, or whenever we notice any transaction that we didn't initiate. So that's all for now, and see ya!